All right, what's up, everybody? It's 30 Days of Feeling, day number 19, and we are talking today about how do I feel about the world. Oh my goodness, I got this globe that I've left in the sun for a while, and the color on it, it's like changed. It used to be like tan, now it's like fading. I don't know. Anyway, globes are super neat. I highly recommend it. If you don't know your geography, your ability to understand what's happening in the world is going to be really limited because you don't know what's happening in other places in the world and how that's impacting you. Because we live right here. That's Florida, right there. But there's a pretty big rest of the world that's happening around here that has a direct impact on how we live. So today I want to talk about it because I feel like recently I've been on Twitter or X more than I ever have before. And that place has been opening my mind to the amount of information, particularly controversial, potentially negative information there is out there. Negative meaning stuff that can cause extreme discomfort mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, just by reading it, just by looking at the things happening. And I want to feel into it today because I think that a lot of people, definitely people in my men's group, but people in general that I talk to, struggle with contemplating and trying to take on the collective responsibility of the world, which I don't recommend. It's not your fight. Your fight's just right here. Presence, peace, power, working with myself. So I'm going to feel into that today. God, just got a haircut. I really like it. Looks clean. So, how do I feel about the world? Oh man. In this moment, I feel very connected to it, but very indifferent towards it. Connected because I feel like I said this morning on my walk, I've never had so many friends all over the world. Like going to Costa Rica in like 8 weeks and I have friends there. We're going to Egypt in a few months and we have friends there. I'll go back to Pennsylvania. I got friends there. I got friends in Florida. I got friends in California. I got friends all over the world. So I feel so connected to it. It feels so neat. Oh, I have friends who are from Jordan, and they're teaching me about their culture, Arabic culture. It's just been such a joy lately to just learn. So I have a friend. I just have so many friends that are just all over, and it's been such a joy to learn about them, their cultures, how interconnected we are, where they come from, their heritage, their customs, why they do certain things, why they act certain ways, their preconditioning, the different patterns that they act out, and why. So it's just been, I feel so connected to the world. I feel fantastic, but simultaneously I feel absolutely indifferent. The sheer amount of bullshit that's happening in the world is impossible to track, gauge, or assess. And I think that it's really easy for myself and others to go on social media and look at the latest. And it's so dangerous to check out the latest because it's different when we ask our partner, our friend, our brother, our spouse, whoever, after a day of work, what's the latest? How was your day? Versus we go on the internet and ask the internet, how was your day? I mean, that's like that's the summation of everyone's combined days. Like that's a lot to take in. And for a lot of you, you really just don't have the space for it, which is why I can feel overwhelming and anxiety inducing. And that's why personally, I don't consume much social media at all. I mean, I watch YouTube, but I'm being specific with what I'm watching based off of what I'm actually interested in, whether it's soccer or Magic the Gathering or, like I was watching some chess video earlier today and that was good. Or I'm watching some about the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm not absolutely scrolling through social media trying to download or get the latest on the world. Other people tell me what's happening, and then I get to react to that if I choose. But normally, none of these things are impacting me directly, and I feel like that's something that I have gotten really good at practicing, which is if it's not impacting me directly, I'm not going to let it directly impact me. Meaning, if it's not impacting me directly and I'm not on the front lines of this experience, why would I let myself feel what it would feel like to be on the front lines of this experience just so that I can give myself permission to be in the world or to be on the front lines of existence in other people's lives? Not saying that I don't care, because I definitely do, but I'm not very useful to the world when I'm in a very low emotional state or when I am trying to solve something that I can't physically do, or I'm trying to assess something that I don't have all the information about. And I see a lot of people doing that on Instagram or Twitter. They're just trying to like solve things behind their little. It's like that's just not really a good use of my energy. My energy is a lot better used practicing my own personal peace, practicing my creating a life of my abundance of my world, and of teaching and training other people to do it too, because that's me directly impacting myself and thus directly impacting people, and they can directly impact people, and they can directly impact people, and they can directly impact people, and then all of a sudden that person that I wanted to impact or wanted to connect with is getting impacted by me regardless. Except it's just not, I'm not forcing myself to take on their burden or take on their problem or take on their issues or take on their reassessments or assessments. And I just feel like this is an incredible practice of enforcing boundaries. And this is something that I discuss all the time with myself and with the guys in my men's group, people I work with. Is it's one thing to set a boundary, it's another thing to enforce a boundary. I know a lot of people have boundaries set when it comes to social media or taking in too much information, but they're not very good at enforcing them, which is just turning off the phone. It's okay, I'm gonna get back to my life now. It's I'm not gonna let these things happening in the world, the war that's happening right now, the genocide that's happening, the starvation that's happening, the disease that's happening, the rape that's happening, the pedophilia. Like there is infinite horrible things happening, but there's also infinite good things happening. And I'm just choosing to bring my energy to the good things so that when the time comes where I can be potentially in a place where I can really make an impact, I'm in the best possible state to do it. I'm a big believer that I have 5 to 10 great moments in my life where maybe I can change the course of the world, maybe, where I can do really, really good. And I just want to be prepped for those things. And it's very hard to be prepped for those things when I'm constantly being weighed down by everything else that's happening. We have to give ourselves permission to let other people take on responsibility for their lives and for their issues and for their problems as well. Everyone's problems aren't my problems. And if I can't get that through my head or into my body, I'm always going to feel like I'm in a state of anxiety. I'm always going to feel like I'm in a state of fight or flight because I'm experiencing collective scarcity. I'm experiencing collective dysregulation in my nervous system, and that just takes a massive toll. So how do I feel about the world? I feel absolutely amazing about it. It's the most interesting, fascinating place I could ever possibly imagine. And if you hang out with me, you know that like at any random moment, I'll go on a tangent about some sort of historical lesson I learned or some person that I read about or some event that I noticed happened in this small town that nobody's ever heard of, but for whatever reason, I find it very interesting. And I'm so utterly fascinated with everything, but I'm not wasting my life force energy on trying to be more than I am. And that, when I say that, it feels like a slight hit to my ego because I want to believe that I can be that change, that I can change the world. And I do believe I can. I can change the world by changing myself. I'm not Superman. I'm not Jesus. I'm not insert whoever the deity is. I'm a man. And I have a vision. And I believe in myself. And I trust myself. And I trust God and my path. And I know I'm being led to do great things. And every moment I get to do great things. And then the hardest thing for me one of the harder pills to swallow in the last 10 years of my life has been realizing that I'm a powerful leader and then realizing what leadership is. And leadership isn't taking on the combined weight of everyone's problems and like making the world better. It's actually giving myself full permission to let go of all of those things and just focus on myself and be the best man I can be and lead and let others follow. Or be there in the moment of truth in the most powerful possible way. And that can only happen when I let go of the weight of the world. And that's what I choose to do. I choose to go like this. And so I look around and I see things happening here and I see things happening there and I observe these things that I don't like or I think are bad or wrong. And then I take those in and I sit with them and then I come back to myself and I keep notes that I want to make these things better. And if and when the time comes where I crossroads and I can do something about it, I will. But I don't force myself and I don't hold myself ransom. I don't hold myself hostage. I don't let myself guilt myself. It's not what I do. I don't guilt myself into action that isn't mine to take. I think this is something that a lot of people really struggle with. And I think it's because they aren't pleased with their own lives and they don't feel their true power. If someone feels their true power, they don't feel obligated to do things that are outside of their scope. I don't. That's how I feel about the world. I feel so good about it. I feel so excited for it. I think it's a fascinating place, and there's so much adventure and so many things to be experienced. And there's equally so much good and so much bad and so many insert in between things. And I'm just trying to find my space in the middle. I'm trying to find my harmony, my peace, my presence, my power. And I feel like I've done a really good job of that by just letting go of the weight of the world, letting go of things that are outside of my scope, letting go of things that don't involve me directly, letting go of things that aren't my place. And that's something that I have to intuitively feel. Like, is this my move? Like, is this something I should be really engaging in? Does God want me to act on this thing right now? And I just listen to that voice and listen to the best of my ability, to that calling and to that path. And I feel like it's led me to a place where I have become someone that I notice other people want to be more like. Not Graham, the way I live, which is, I think, the way that not all of it, but a lot of it is the way that we all want to exist together. We just want to coexist in harmony. So it's really just the harmony and the peace that is reflecting my reflection of harmony and peace is what other people see. And it looks like Graham's life, but it's really just harmony and peace, which I know all of you know what it is too, because we're made of harmony and peace. See, our bodies work in harmony, and they're at peace, and they're at rest. We get them riled up, we get them agitated, we get them doing different things, but they begin at peace and rest and harmony. And that's what I want to create in the world. And I can only create that by being it. And so everything else out there, me trying to create it, isn't creating it. That's forcing creation. I don't believe in forcing creation. I believe in allowing creation, letting creation, experiencing creation, letting it come through and letting it happen. And that's how I build a life of my own that I feel is absolutely beautiful. And I was reflecting on it this morning, and I was just like, I built this. I had help and support and guidance, but I did it. I laid the bricks. I had a blueprint was shown to me. I had visions that came to me. I had people who helped me get the supplies, but I laid the bricks. And gosh, that feels so fucking powerful. I mean, I cannot truly express how powerful it feels. I feel so at peace. Oh my gosh, it makes me emotional. It's so good. So good. Oh, it's like I want to flex, but it's better than flexing. It's better than a testosterone hit. It's just pure power. I feel so blessed to experience it. I feel so blessed to share it, receive it, and to mirror it in other amazing people. And that's what I do in my coaching business. I mirror power in myself. I find it in others, and I mirror mine to theirs to get them to vibrate and be at that level. And then they go do what they want, which is everybody winning. Again, not my place to tell people what to do with their life. I just want to get them into a place where they feel inspired and empowered to do what they want to do. And it just feels so good. That's how I feel with the world. I feel empowered when I look at it. I feel excited to experience it. I feel safe to live it. I feel prepared for challenges. I know they're coming. And I guess, for me, I just do my best to shield myself from all the outside noise, all the outside troubles, everyone's collective bullshit. Not saying there isn't relevant or real or I don't care. It's just I can't allow that. I can't digest it. Then I become it. I got to keep my diet clean. And I keep it clean by eating presence, peace, and power every day, by being in harmonious places and interacting with empowered people. Sharing myself in a way that feels creative and honest and real and raw and authentic and grand. And all those things combined have led me to a life of my own creation that I'm super proud of and super excited to live and continue to see what unfolds. So if you're someone that struggles with the weight of the world, this is a video that I think you could rewatch, and I hope that you can see the power in just staying in your own lane and getting off social media, staying away from getting involved in everyone else's conflicts. Just mind your own business. Focus on yourself. You most likely have more inner conflicts than you know what to deal with. That's the reason you're trying to fight everyone else's battles. You're not fighting your own. If you have the will to fight, it's because you have something to work through within yourself. I have no will to fight anyone's battles. I don't have any battles within myself to fight. I'm not fighting battles right now. Do I look like I'm fighting battles? Look at me. They say everyone's fighting a battle you don't know about. No, I'm not. The only thing I'm practicing is accepting who I am at the highest and deepest and most vulnerable levels. That's not a battle. That's love for myself. It's not a fight. I don't fight. I'm like the least likely to fight people. I'll hold them back. I'll like take a punch, I guess, but I'm not gonna swing at them. I don't believe it. I don't really believe in fighting. I think it's ridiculous. I'm not saying I don't once in a while I want to slap people, because of course I do. But I would never. Anyway, that's my tangent on the weight of the world. Punt it. And embrace myself. Embrace my life. Embrace who I am. Embrace my way. Embrace my presence, my peace, my power, my harmony. And find that alignment with the world, with nature, with God. And through that, all things are possible, all things are created, and most importantly, infinite love and peace are experienced. And that's what I want it to be. Love and peace, that's it. Oof, that feels good. That's how I feel about those things. Curious how you feel. I think those are the questions that you can ask yourself today. How do I feel about the weight of the world? How do I feel about other people's conflicts? How do I feel about my own inner battles? Those are all questions you can start with. And I just want you to practice communicating just like that. I mean, there were several moments in there where I just felt that. I mean, my energy's shifting. It just feels amazing. All that I did was just talk to myself through life. I don't think anyone really appreciates how bizarre this whole thing is, how weird it all is. And I feel like the more comfortable I get with myself, the less weird everything else is, because I'm constantly processing who I am. And when something I didn't expect shows up, I'm not surprised. I used to be fucking terrified, but I was like, oh my God, I'm not really the person I thought I was. Now I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm not the person I thought I was? No shit. Like, who am I today? I have no idea. Am I going to be this? Am I going to be that? Am I going to do this? Am I going to do that? I would never fucking know. I never would have thought I would be a life coach, men's coach, leader, legend, musician, actor, filmmaker, writer, video game savage. I do so many things, and I keep reinventing myself. I keep evolving. I keep finding new pieces of who I am. That to me is more important than the weight of the world. Right? But I can relate, because I remember when I was young in my career, I thought that was my life purpose, was to change the world. And it is. But it doesn't mean I take on the weight of the world. It means that I focus on my own little corner, and I make it peaceful and harmonious, and I let that peace and harmony flow into the next little corner, and the next little corner, and the next little corner. And before you know it, we have a little square of peace and harmony. Then we have a little town of peace and harmony. We have a little city of peace and harmony, a little state of peace and harmony, a little country of peace and harmony, 2 countries of peace and harmony, 3 countries of peace and harmony, and then we have a kingdom of peace and harmony, a world, an earth, a universe. At least that's how I see it. And then we bring it all the way back down to me, Mr. Graham Frank Lickner, who maybe will have 30 views on this video. But the video isn't for you guys. It's for me to process my own life. And I put it out there because I think that other people will understand what's happening here, and they can practice too. And I just want to encourage practice. That's literally it. That's my contribution today. And that's good enough for me. So I'm going to enjoy my haircut. Been hitting the gym, feeling good. Got some new L2L shirts coming in. Stoked about it. Gonna play some Xbox. Have a client coming today. Life's good. Just gonna let it be. So, with that said, how do you feel about the weight of the world? How do you feel about the outside world? How do you feel about what's happening in the world? And work yourself back to a place where you feel confident and empowered in who you are, and the fact that you are staying in your lane and living your life according to your rules and how you want to do it. I feel like that's the best damn thing anyone can do. So, with all that said today, 30 Days of Feeling, day 19, I believe. Wow. So many videos in this series. It's actually amazing. Good for me. Good for any of you who are watching. Presence, peace, and power be with you. Legends, by the way.